Hey guys, this is a tale of two TMs, and this one I'm just about done with it, and got to make a behind the cover here. There's like another piece that's supposed to go between the wheel and the engine case. I got to make that out of plastic, but on this one, I bored the cylinder. It's 50 over. It's got a new Mikuni carb on it. Checked the clutch plates, redid the clutch plates. The other thing that was kind of goofy about this, they had the brake on the wrong side of the bike. I had to swap the forks around. Well, I did that. I put the new fork seals and boots on it. And what else? The fender was in the wrong spot, so I don't know, rehab the fender a little bit. And redid the bracket, so that's a little better. Put the seat bracket back where it's supposed to be. Somebody really mucked it up, and I had to repair all that. The other weird thing, I'm getting all my metric Allen wrenches out for these guys. And guess what? Somebody took the time to drill all this out and tap them all 1/4 20. Yeah, that happens. And I don't know, maybe a couple of them got stripped out. Instead of having a mix mash of metric and SAE bolts, they just retapped everything to 1/4 20 on this thing. I made my own exhaust pipe. First one I've ever made it. I used the combination of this is the original TM pipe, and then this pipe I believe it was off a CZ 380. So I had to marry these two pipes together, and then it comes out the back here, and it's loud, but it's better than this pipe that's smashed to pieces. And it's incredible how thin Suzuki made those pipes. They're really hard to weld, and that was the only alternative I had. Next pipe that I build for this one is going to be better. It's going to be better. It's just, this is the first or second pipe I've ever built for a bike, and it's not an easy process, especially finding angles and all that. I modified the air box a little bit. It's part of the old air box, but I used the new school filter on it. The other little things, like this bolt they had a SAE rusted out bolt that was sitting here, and it was about that far out, and so I went and got the correct size bolt for that. The engine runs great. This thing is just gnarly now. It's got a ton of compression. What happened before to the old, I measured it out, and it was 8 thousandths out of spec. So that means the center of the jug which is this side, is got more wear on it because of the throw of the piston whipping back, and the gas pressure pushing the piston down, and because of the crank arm being on this side and swinging back, it's whipping the piston to the front of the cylinder, and that's where most of your wear is. A lot of times this side of the cylinder is perfect. This side, it's wallered out. It's concave. And when I'm boring it, I always notice the side that's wore, because I'll start cutting more on this side of the cylinder, and then finally towards the end it'll just start catching that side of the cylinder. So that bike needs to be bored out, and I'm going to show you the process of that. That one I made a mistake on. Well, I gambled. What I did was I bored it out, and I didn't put it into fixture properly, and the bore missed the bottom half about an inch or 3/4 of an inch. So I thought, well, I'll cheat it up. I'll flip the cylinder upside down and then bore it out again from the top down, and hopefully it'll match with my bore from the first bore go around. That didn't work. I couldn't get it centered enough to match the original bore. I honed it as best I could to get that step out of it, and now it smokes like a two-stroke. It runs good, it drives good, but boy does it smoke. And it leaves a plume unbelievable. So I got a new piston for it, new rings, and I'm gonna show you in a future video the process of boring that cylinder out. 4-stroke cylinders are way easier than 2-stroke cylinders on account of the ports. And what happens is as you're boring it, and this is not due to anything but the cylinder animal itself, is because of the ports, that bit is hitting the ports as it's going around the bit, the tool, and occasionally it'll throw the index out. If it hits that port hard enough, it'll kind of put a little index in it, and it won't bore evenly. And that's just the nature of 2-strokes. Where on a 4-stroke, the cylinder is constant, it's all the way around, nothing is disturbing the path of that boring bar and the tool. So that's a little dirty industry secret that people should know when they're getting their cylinders bored. And this I picked up as, this is a 76 or 75 model. I think it's a 75 model. Well, it was built in 75. They probably sold it in 76. But it's a TM75. Pretty much all there. It's a good candidate for a restoration. I got it for my grandson. It's his 7th birthday, and I thought he'd love to have a little bike like this. So it's got a small transmission problem, and I need to pull a tranny out and see just how the dogs and the shifter forks look, because the previous owner says it has a tendency to slip out of second gear, and that's usually normally, yeah, it's a combination of the dog is rounded off on second gear, and the shift fork is wore out, so it's not pushing that gear all the way into the dogs. These interface blocks that go into the transmission of the next gear. So it's kind of, when I take it apart, you guys will see what I mean. But that is another future project. It's got kind of a lot of interesting things that are on it. You know, the owner kept going, "Oh, look at this. It's got the choke still." And I'm like, okay, that's exciting. What about the rusty gas tank I thought these were yellow, but apparently Suzuki painted them yellow. So that's going to have to get treated with yellow paint. That's about it for the Tale of Two TMs. It's going to definitely need a new chain. I think it's a 420. The chain guide's missing. The chain, the chain guard is missing also, but we'll deal with that later. But these weren't basically, these, they were just cool little pit bikes back in the day. I don't know if they were ever seriously raced. They probably were, but things work out, hopefully. And that's about it. And this miserable 73 Kawasaki. At first, I noticed that the clutch on this bike was sticking. And when it got hot, they got stuck. You couldn't get it, you couldn't come to a stop. I had to shut the engine off and then restart the engine, and pedal forward with my feet and then throw it in gear and go. And then just shift. Well, the clutch was stuck closed. Well, I cleaned all the plates off. I put some new plates in. And basically what it is the cork, or I don't know if it's cork or whatever that material is, delaminates a little bit, and then it gets stuck to the free plates, or you have the free plates and you have the clutch plates, and the free plates actually power the engine, and the clutch plates control the friction. And I took it for a ride, and I'm trying to come to a stop, and this thing wants to keep going, and I'm like, holy cow, and I'm trying to shift it into neutral, pull the clutch in, nothing's going, it keeps wanting to go forward. It's really, what's weird is that the clutch worked when I first got on it, but I noticed that, well, it's a little sticky, it'll unstick it, and it got worse. Who knew? And hopefully this will work out, and the owner can come and get his bike. I didn't have to do anything. I boroscoped the cylinders. They look great. And not a whole lot of carbon buildup in there. Just a neat old bike. They don't do the style induction and much anymore, rotary valve, because it actually just costs more than they just have a reed valve and a intake. So yeah, I think they quit doing these right around mid 70s, maybe early 80s. They quit doing rotary induction engines. And actually a rotary induction engine was a little more powerful than even a reed engine was. To the point that even Puch on their dirt bikes used a twin carb, one regular induction carb and a rotary carb on their 250s and 380s, because that rotary made so much more power. And the way it was a weird deal. The carburetor that was back here would be the beginning or starting, and then the cable would run out, but then when you pull the throttle, the cable would keep going for the rotary one, because rotaries had a better top end. And that's, you can look it up on on the computer and see what that was all about. But it was quite an interesting phase for Pook, and it's just a weird deal. Alright, so hopefully the next time you see me, I'll be riding this bike, going around the yard. These things were, I think this is a 73, 74 model, and what they did was they changed the CDI advance. So, you know, these things were called the Widowmaker because of the weird power band that they had. It would all hit like real hard in the mid-range somewhere. Never predictable. They were also called champion models. But what they did was they changed the advance on the CDI so it didn't have that evil kick-on power. The other problem was the flywheel was too light. And that's a problem. And for guys like Roger DeCoster, Joel Robert, that probably wasn't a problem for them, but for the average public, that was a problem. So, well, thanks for stopping in, and this is Dirt Bike Dave. We'll get into some other crap pretty soon. And yeah, please subscribe, hit the bell, and hopefully this, you know, I'm trying to be more real world here. I mean, most of us, there's a lot of restoration shows that, you know, they're put, you know, there's a lot of production in their videos, and I'm trying to show people that, you know, just average Joes like us can enjoy these bikes just like anybody else can. So, have a good day.